Hey, welcome to Microsoft Sway familiarization video. In this video, we're going to do an overview of Microsoft Sway. This is not going to be an in-depth look at all the settings and modifications and all the deep stuff you can get into because there's a lot, but we're just going to do an overview and kind of get you familiarized with what it is. So what is Microsoft Sway? You're like, I don't know what Microsoft Sway is. Well, Microsoft's own webpage talks about it. Sway was created about 5 years ago. It's basically a way to create dynamic presentations online that flow like a website, like when you're scrolling down through a website, a modern website. So it's different than a PowerPoint. It's different than Google Slides. They're similar, and we'll talk about that in a second, but it's not the same thing. So, and the idea is to create things quickly and easily, and you have different kind of layouts and templates and ways you can do it. And you can add in content. There's a lot of collaborative effort here. It dynamically adjusts itself to different medium. So if you have a desktop, it's going to be big. If you have a laptop, it'll be smaller. If you have a mobile device or a tablet, it will be even smaller, but it looks, all the content's there, as you can see right here with this description. So that's a really cool feature that PowerPoint and Google Slides really don't have a good way of doing. So let's get into Sway. So to find Sway, you go into Microsoft Office, you log into your office.com. This is what you normally would see. You see all your apps here. Now Sway is not included on this list. You're like, where is it? Well, you go to all apps and Sway is listed right here. Here's Sway. It's Sway, S-W-A-Y. You hit it. And this is what you get. You get this really nice streamlined screen. And again, this is an online application. There is a Windows 10 offline application, but the recommended use for this is online at all times because of the collaborative effort and the way it pulls in content from different sources. So there's three main ways to create a Sway. You can create a Sway from a blank Sway, the topic, or from an existing document. We'll go through these real fast. Create a new one. This is pretty detailed. This is a really detailed process. We're not going to get into this today, other than to say that you have a storyline and you can create a bunch of elements within the storyline, like, heading and text. It's like building a website, essentially. Text, and you have media. You can go in images and videos, and you can embed things in it. You can do grids and stacking and slideshows and comparison, where you might have two things like, Coke and Pepsi, and you're comparing the two together as like a web page form. So that's what that does. And it's pretty useful. However, it's a lot more in depth than what we're going to get into today. Okay, so let's go back to Sway. Start from topic is the one that you're most likely going to use. And when you start from a topic, it's pulling in sources and content from primarily Wikipedia. So it says powered by Wikipedia, which is really cool because we use a lot of Wikipedia content already. So if we type in anything, we'll just type in poodle. I've been checking out the poodle creation thing here a lot. Okay, create outline. So you could put in hot dog, you could put in cat, race car, whatever. All right, so again, you're like, wow, this doesn't really look like PowerPoint, and this doesn't look like anything I've seen, and it doesn't look like a web page. Well, wait, give it a second here. What it's doing is it builds all this content in. Okay, you can scroll down through, and you have these cards. You have image cards, text cards, you have these content boxes, and this is the way it put it together. And now this is just literally the initial framework that it built. You can modify this, you can do whatever you want with it, but this is what it gives you to start with, okay? Now at the bottom, you see it pulls in references, which is really cool for our needs because, we use sources, so it's good to see source material. Okay, so you're like, well, again, I don't know why this is really special. All right, so watch, if I hit play now this is what a Sway looks like. Now if I scroll it, it's going sideways, okay? I'm going side scroll. And these are the images it pulls in. These are, some suggestions. It's telling you, hey, here's some more things you can do to modify this. You might put in some information about the Kennel Club, for instance, or whatever, okay? And it goes on and on and on. And you can kind of scroll it like this. Now, this is a lot different than the way a PowerPoint works, right? PowerPoint does not scroll like this. It goes slide by slide by slide. It's real stepped, okay? This is a big difference between Sway and PowerPoint and Google Slides. Now you can also come down here and you can hit the arrows, or you can actually go along and kind of do this, which is really nice. This is a really neat feature right here. Okay, so that's how it looks when you just pull in something like that. So we're gonna go back to My Sways. The final method is start from a document. Now, say you have a pre-existing Word document, PowerPoint, something you've worked really hard on. You don't want, you don't want to lose that work, and you want to pull it in Sway. Well, I already did one on my Korean vacation when I lived in Korea, so I made a sample vacation PowerPoint, right? So I'm gonna pull this in, and Sway generates it. Now, this is the original PowerPoint right here. This is what it looks like, and you can see it's all nice with pictures and the whole thing. But again, it's just a bunch of individual slides put together, and so when you run the slideshow, you still have this element where you're like slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, right? That's what's different with Sway. Okay, now look, it created it. Here it is. Now, again, it doesn't look like anything you would recognize normally, but if I hit play, now you can scroll down and you see all this beautiful content came out right out of my PowerPoint, but look at the difference in the presentation of this, okay? So there's a much different way that this works. And once you get this in here, you could further edit it up here in the corner. You can share it. You can have people edit it. Again, the collaborative part of this is real important. You can hit edit. You could send the link. You could do a visual link. You could put it on Facebook. You can put it on Twitter. You can get an embed code. You can put it on a website. You can put it in Blackboard. You can put it wherever. There's a lot of features. You can also come up here and you can do export, where you can export it out as a Word or PDF also for like an offline purpose if you're not doing all online things. So Sway is incredibly powerful, really neat. I encourage you to get into it, look at it, play with it, kind of see what you can make. And I really hope you've enjoyed this overview of Sway. So have a great day.